Hey, I'm Todd. Thanks for choosing to watch my video, and if you would subscribe it, like it, all that stuff, that'd be great. Otherwise, enjoy the video, and I hope it gives you the information you need and is helpful to you. Take care. So I do get a lot of comments with people saying I have saved them a lot of money, and I do get questions, hey, can I send you some money somehow? And now there is a way, if you so choose, called fan funding. You'll find it on the channel page right there. As you can see, it's a 8 of 2004 Dodge Ram 1500 heater core and evaporator replacement in this truck. I guess the last couple trucks we've done, we've been replacing both the heater core and the evaporator, because often the evaporator will have a problem with it leaking. So I'm trying to give you a quick overview here. It will not be step by step. You'll see how things go together. We'll help you take it apart. So this is the this will be the same on both sides. The runner here for the edge right here. This goes in there. This piece here goes in here. What else do we got? Oh, this piece here. Just have the two screws. Phillips screw there. Phillips screw there. Just a couple friction fittings on the back side that you can just pull it right off. It just slides off. This piece in the back here. If it's like that, friction fittings, just pull it off. There's this piece here. Again, just top part of the dash, friction fittings. Just pop these all up. You can see the ones that closest to the glass. Here's the glass here, closest to the glass. These are angled. So you should be able to pull it towards you and pull it out off the top of the dash. Also pulled the rubber seal here to get to that side piece right in here. So we just got it pulled up, laying on the back side here. I'm not exactly sure if these have to come out yet, but I just popped them here, and there's 10mm bolts inside. They're kind of dangling. Just take a screwdriver in here and pop them out on both sides, just in case you do need to. We got here a T20 Torx bit, 3 screws, hold the plastic on here. So we'll just take those off. This is a friction fit on here. Pulls off that way. We'll snap on and snap off. Then you got your connectors here. For this one up here, it's kind of tricky. Has a security lock here. Slide this. You can see how it's popped out, and then this will slide up. Now I just snapped it in place, and you have to pull it up like so to release it. Most of the rest of these are just push button. Security again, slide this one back and then push down on it and it'll release. And you can let the steering wheel probably rest down on the seat. And you can see our bolts here. Not sure if they're 13 or 14. 2 here. That's a pin right there. It's going in a hole, so it's an alignment pin. And we also have one down here, I believe. Nope. I think delete that, not on this side that I can see. There might be one back there actually. Take this piece off here. See, there's 2 screws. Well, we'll take more stuff off here. Looks like, oh, snap. Anyway. Yep, one more bolt that back there. A couple screws in there. There they are probably. Or not those. Nope, just snaps in off. There we go. Okay. There's our fittings. Gonna see that kind of slides up and down then there. That a little bit to help you. Just gonna slide on there then probably. Alright, so now we can access our 3 bolts here. Alright, let's move to the other side again. 2 10mm bolts down here. Plastic cover in the front just kind of snaps into place. Working on getting the panel off this side too, haven't done it yet. I dropped down the glove box. Same setup here, pulling the rubber off, pulling the piece off. Oh, a piece is stuck in there. 3 connections here. Push type, push, antenna for the radio. As you can see, those are just going to probably stay. Here's a bolt here. Stay with the dash when you pull it out. That's an overview. Let's get up here. Got 10mm, probably another 10mm over there, and also 8mm. Take a note of these 2 tabs here. I just pulled this out of the passenger side. The guide pin there, and the bolt holes, and a couple clips. And they fit in these holes right down here. So I'll probably do the same for the other side as well. Alright. Then move the steering column out of the way, and then there's 2 bolts up here, 10mm bolts up here that go into the main frame right there, and also one over here. Also 10mm, and 13mm bolt was back here. 4 10mm nuts. Like I said, I marked this and make sure that the steering wheel doesn't turn, and that's laying on the floor safely with the bungee cord on it right there. So now the dash is pretty free, and I think it's going to slide out, and now it's the time for someone to help. You do need an assistant for this job, I'm sure. You could possibly pull that side off to the side, lay it in there, but we don't really want to try and damage your customers' furniture seats as much as possible, so we'll probably just pull this all the way out. Also disconnected the brake right here and there, so that's disconnected as well. And hood release, a couple 13mm screws here. This was on the steering column, just kind of snaps into place on that thing there, and then two little things here on each side, just kind of squeeze it and it'll come out of its little hole there, then you can pull it out. See, there's two tabs, just squeeze those. 10mm also there to disconnect that. Might have disconnected one or two things that didn't need to be, but close. And again, you're just pushing tabs to release them. Alright, this is going to come out now. There's a connector on each side, just had those pulled out and disconnected on this side, and also yellow ABS connector here. Push on that tab and then you can flip the lever. So push the tab and flip the lever over that way. You see it just sitting on the seat. I think it's all plastic and all smooth, so it won't be doing any damage to the seats or the dash. I'll probably just leave it there, and now we have the assembly right there for the heater core and evaporator. Right now on the inside we got a 10mm nut here and a 10mm bolt here. I think are the two connections on the inside. I don't think, oh, look at that. A third one. Third 10mm bolt. Man, look in there. Can you see that? Well, there's coolant in there. That's not good. Alright, well, we'll get this out so we can get to the heater core and the evaporator. Could use an air conditioning machine to suck out the freon that was in here. Need to disconnect the lines here. Two heater hoses go back further. Three screws, two up here and then one down below. Hold this in place. Get this out of the way because there's a screw. You need to get two studs actually. Right there's a stud you need to get to. And then I think there was a stud over here as well. Two studs to get to, 10mm bolts here, two to loosen up here so you can slide this on and off the bracket. Hose clamps, pain in the butt to get to. Use the long needle nose pliers and made it work. And the green stuff is some dye from the AC. I think that's about it underneath here. Take the air cleaner assembly out to give you some access. 8mm screw for the clamp there, and this all just snaps out. No tools for this right here. 3 screws for the computer. Do not plug it, unplug it, they say. So I think that's everything out here, just 2 studs. Oh, I fought with this right here. This was slid onto a stud. I had some difficulty getting it off, but it came off. So I moved the hoses a little bit, and I think that's actually where the other stud is that I got out. Right down there. Heater core is out already, but we need to be taking off a lot of Phillips screws along here to get this out. So here's what it looks like. This is facing the firewall. There's our stud, a condenser drain, and yeah, heater core slid in there. Just slides out after taking a couple screws out. So we're just going to start taking stuff apart. Alright, one last overview I think before you put it back together on what you have to take apart. 2 connectors, antenna, bolt here, 2 bolts here, The holes on there, a connector here. For me, I think if you have speakers up in the panels, those are probably what those are for. And you have your bolts up along the top here, two 10mm where the big brackets are. 10mm bolt here for the bracket. You can see two 10mm bolts for those two brackets, and then the ABS connector that goes right down here. And we'll go to the other side. Here on the driver's side, here's the connector here that was connected, and the three bolts here. Got a pretty good sized connector here with a 10mm bolt. Ooh. This connector. Look at these connectors for the steering column. Another push type connector. You got to slide that back to make it work. Got these connectors here on the steering column. Hood release right here. And a couple bolts that go up in here through that piece of metal right there, 10mm. I think that is most everything. There's the shift cable. I think this gives you, or I hope it gives you a good overview on what you need to take apart to get to your heater core and evaporator core, the HVAC assembly, heater core, air conditioning assembly. Good luck to you on your efforts. Probably should go to a shop and get the AC sucked out if you have AC, and maybe they can help you with disconnecting the lines too, because they are special tools for the AC lines under the hood. Which you do need to disconnect.